What's up, guys, to a brand new video, and today we're gonna talk about Transformers Rise of Unicron. And today I'm gonna cover about certain points that I will like some predictions of the film. And you guys might have known that oh my gosh, you guys might have known that I've done a video about Cliff Jumper in the past, and many of you did enjoy the video, I guess so. And many of you kind of got the idea on what Cliff Jumper is gonna play out in the film. And but today we're gonna talk about more than Cliff Jumper, and I'm not going to be covering about Cliff Jumper because I already covered about this guy's origin, as well as how is he going to be in the film, how is he going to interact with Max and the others, and who is he going to mainly fight, or what is his character going to be like. So just check that video out, and let's move on to today's video about the entire Rise of Unicorn cast. So first thing is first, now we gotta talk about Megatron in this entire film because in the Super Bowl trailer that Rise of Unicron cast, the HNF Productions released, many of us did see the purple eyes, similar to what Optimus happened, like a Nemesis Prime type. So what does this actually mean? And here's what I think actually means for this purple eyes. Now this means that this is dark energon, something we saw the red mark on Optimus and Megatron by Quintessa. And Quintessa, however, she might play as a critical role in the film, but I feel like Unicron might possess Megatron. And we're not going to see something like Galvatron returning or something, because Galvatron did appear in the Age of Extinction and he's again now Megatron. But we're not going to see that. We're going to see uh, what does this mean. So this means is very simple. Unicron is taking over Megatron, so it's using him against the Autobots. And you may wonder, why does this happen? I think it's because since in the last night, you know how Quintessa tried to I think it's some sort of a staff thing. I'm pretty sure. I think some sort of a dark energon thing, and I think some of Quintessa is associated with the Unicron. But in terms of Megatron, I feel like he's going to be possessed by Unicron, and I think he's going to be trapped in his own body, similar to how Generations One Galvatron was shown. So, or Unicron also could be in controlling Megatron or his body, and then he's gonna fight against Optimus Prime. And this is gonna be important for the next point I want to say. Now, as I said, this is going to be very important because when Optimus fights Megatron, he might realize that he's been possessed by Unicron. So I think maybe in the Rise of Unicron film, we might see an Autobot and this Decepticon alliance in the film. Maybe when Megatron regains consciousness, I think Optimus might spare his life, and he could be like the Autobots and the Decepticons could be both fighting against Unicron because their main common enemy is Unicron. So I think Optimus will realize that Megatron is possessed by Unicron, and I think they are gonna fight because of Unicron possessing Megatron. But I feel like later in the film, Optimus might. I think we might see a Optimus and Megatron emotional scene, similar to like the TFP series, like Transformers Prime. You know how they're like aligned or something. I think that might happen in this film too. So Megatron and Optimus could be working out together, and their alliance could be working together as well. So I'm pretty sure that Optimus and Megatron will work together to defeat Unicron. And here's my third prediction. So my third prediction is, you know how Optimus already has the matrix of leadership, and here's what I'm gonna say, which is gonna like bother many of us, and even I'm kind of regret of saying this, but this might happen in the film. Okay, this is not something official, but this might happen in the film. That being, Optimus could sacrifice himself, because we all know that the matrix of leadership kind of kills Unicron with the predictions. But I feel like since it's also a Bayverse aesthetic film, I don't think Optimus is going to die again like how he died in Revenge of the Fallen, but there could be a chance because there's also a fan-made movie which is like, and they did say that this is gonna like be a perfect film for every single type of Transformers fans, whether if they're like a animated fan or a TFP fan or something like the G1 or the games, whatever it is, it's going to be something very close to the normal Transformers franchise. So we might see Optimus losing his life by sacrificing himself heroically to Unicron, which is going to be very emotional. But if that happens, there could be a chance. Well, my fourth point is going to disturb many of us again, like history repeating itself. I'll tell what the fifth point is, but right now, I think there could be a chance this happening in the film because Optimus already has the matrix of leadership, and with that, I think he might sacrifice himself to defeat Unicron because I think that's more heroic, honestly. So this could be like the last film we might see the Beaver's Prime. So I think they might give him an emotional touch, but there could be also an otherwise scenario as well. Optimus may not sacrifice himself, but use all his power to stop Unicron with the Matrix of Leadership. Now let's go on to my fourth point, which many of us is gonna hate so much. Now, maybe if Optimus does sacrifice himself, then I think Hot Rod will be the next Prime because here's why. Because we all know the G1, which many of us, including me, I got so frustrated and angry because Optimus died because of Hot Rod, and many of us hated Hot Rod for the one particular reason. But honestly, the thing is that there could be a chance where Hot Rod could like lead Optimus. But I don't think this idea will work because, first of all, Hot Rod made his debut in the very last film. Like, he made his debut in The Beavers at like the last night, and not like any comics or anything, or not even any games or any movies. He was supposed to make an entrance in The Dark of the Moon, but he was scrapped, and I think Dino was the one who replaced him. But honestly, I feel like if Optimus dies, if he sacrifices, then I think Artrod will lead the Autobots team because um, they might go for something similar. Plus, they did mention that Hot Rod is going to have a major, significant role in the film, which is very important for Rise of Unicron. So we might see Hot Rod leading the Autobots team, which I honestly do not want to see because, first of all, I hate Hot Rod myself to the core. I hate him more than anything in this world. Like, even if you put me in a room with a snake or a hot rod next to me, I would rather choose the snake because I don't really like hot rod myself. And many of us, like, there could be still some fans who might like hot rod, but seriously, he's not my type. And even Smokescreen worked better. So honestly, we might see something similar. Now, here's my next point. Now, this one is something very special because in the G1, we do know for a fact that Cliffjumper and Hound are like battle buddies. And since Cliffjumper is a lieutenant and the Beaver's Hound personally is somewhat of a warrior or a soldier, I think we might see the similar chemistry, or these guys are basically just battle buddies since a G1. So we might see something similar. And I did say that I won't do anything about Cliffjumper because I already covered him in the past. But still, I feel like Cliffjumper and Hound will still be battle buddies in the Rise of Unicron because. During when fighting the Decepticons or the Terracons or something, whatever, we might see something similar, and we might see best friendship chemistry between Hound and Cliffjumper, which I personally feel like is needed for Rise of Unicron because this is one of my requests because Hound and Cliffjumper are friends since the G1 and other continuities. So this makes more sense for them to work again as bros or friends. So this makes sense. Plus, we need this in Rise of Unicron because the G1 they always work together as scouts or as lieutenants or trackers, spies, whatever. So this makes more sense. Now, one more thing to cover about Hound. This is my next point. Hound is. We need to see Hound as what he was shown in the Age of Extinction. Remember how he fought off all the KSI drones all by himself? I know B was with him, but did you all remember how he was soloing all those KSI drones? Even I personally in the Beavers can't do that. But Hound, he used every single one of his arsenals, and they did give him a lot of arsenals, including a new shoulder cannon. So that means we have to see the same Hound. We gotta see the same Hound, same from Age of Extinction. Like, he was a ruthless, he was a tank, a heavy hitter. He was better than most of the heavy hitters we even seen. His chemistry, his character was so well done. So we gotta see the same sort of arsenals and weapons, and you better use it against more enemies rather than just like the 7 Decepticons team that was shown in the Decepticon teaser for Rise of Unicron. You better use it against some sort of Terracons or Scorponok or whatever that Unicron is gonna show. He better go full on out because we gotta see the same Hound. Remember how he used a cigar and shot a two-headed shockwave? Or do you guys remember how he called himself a big fat ballerina? We gotta see the same scene, and that is gonna make everyone's heart. Even I'm gonna cheer up, even if that scene even appears, bro. Because they better show that scene, and that's for Hound us personally. But seriously, just by looking at this Age of Extinction, I want to see the same Hound that we saw in Age of Extinction. That same battle, bro, who just eliminated all of the KSI drones, and honestly. He used his guns, he used knives, he used grenades, even his cigar. Bro, he even used his cap and some sort of other arsenals he even got, so you better see all of that. Personally, I want Hound to be like shown like a best aviator in this film. And since we did see something similar between Age of Extinction Bumblebee and Age of Extinction Hound, we better see something like with Cliffjumper and Hound together in Rise of Unicron as well. Now about Drift. Now they did say we are going to see something with the Drift's origin, like his Decepticon origin. And personally, we're now going to see some sort of flashbacks, in my opinion, because in terms of flashbacks, I think only it's something like I think it's more like Mirage or something. But as for Drift, his origin, it should be more like emotional based, at least, because let's be honest, he's gonna fight Dead End, and that is a rumor since these Dead End and Drift are gonna fight. So I feel like Drift might fare up against Dead End, especially when his old concept art was shown. So I just want that to be something similar to his IDW comic, because in IDW he did have a sensei, and we didn't see Drift's sensei. But I think, remember in Age of Extinction there was a Drift lookalike. I think that was Drift's sensei. His name is Wing, by the way. I know that's weird, but still. So Drift might fight a Dead End, and I want his origin to be explored properly, like something with this IDW, mainly IDW. I don't care about what they're gonna show, but mainly it's IDW comic. And Drift does look insanely cool, honestly. He looks like the better version of Age of Extinction Drift we got to saw. I mean, get to see, my bad. But seriously, Drift here is one of my favorite characters. Plus, he better get that origin, bro. He better get something, because if Dead End and Drift are gonna have a personal one-on-one fight, that means we better see something cool with Drift, like the best. Like, we gotta see him fight against Dead End Solo or something, because that is very important for Rise of Unicron. Plus, his origin should be explored properly, because we need to make sure it's emotional driven, for the fact that Drift is like, Yos Aloni is a former Decepticon, and this was failed in last night because Megatron and Drift were kind of fighting, and Megatron didn't even bother to like know that Drift was his own the Decepticon. So this is kind of messed up in last night. But however, in Unicron, Rise of Unicron, I think this could be explored properly with Dead End. I think Dead End and Drift were battle buddies when Drift was Dreadlock, but now we could see something similar. But when Drift like realized that maybe these Decepticons are too violent and too unnatural, I think Dead End might keep this in personal or something, and then I think Dead End and Drift are gonna have a one-on-one fight. Next is about, of course, Mirage. And see, I have nothing to cover about Mirage. Now only I even checked about Mirage for a second, and let me tell you this: I don't think he's gonna join the main cast Autobots, like the 8 Autobots, like Cogman, Hound, Cross S, Drift, Hot Rod, Cliffjumper, Bumblebee, Optimus. Not like that. Maybe he might appear in the flashback, But here's what I want to say for the first to begin with. I don't want to see Mirage die, bro, honestly, because Mirage is one of my favorite characters in Bayverse, honestly. His Dino design was the best. And I seriously was upset not knowing that he was not in Age of Extinction and the last night. So it's kind of sad, but seriously, I do want to see Mirage appear, but I don't want him to die because that will just like leave an impression. I don't want to see that, but honestly, it might play a major role since compared to most Autobots in the film, he was the guy even better than Sideswipe actually. Not better than Sideswipe, more than Sideswipe actually. They wanted Mirage to appear in Rise of Unicron rather than Sideswipe. That explains how well his character is given by the fans. So seriously, I have one expectation. I don't want to see Mirage die. Maybe like this could be something that happened before Dark of the Moon. That makes more sense because it's something like the past, right? So we gotta see something like that. So we don't want Mirage to die, but me, I don't want to see this guy die, bro. That's all I gotta say. His card was just shown he was alive, so I think they might go for something like that. And this could happen in the past. He could be missing in action, or this could be something that happening in Mexico City because they did reveal teasers for lockdown. So this could happen in the this thing, the Mexico City event, or something, or something in between. But seriously, I don't want Mirage to die, and I got no hopes. He could still go missing in action, bro. I'm okay with that, but dying is not good. It's not good for this character, especially as such a fan base. Even he was accepted in Rise of Unicron. It's also officially confirmed he's gonna appear in the film. So let's hope that he does not die, bro. Next, of course, is my most favorite character, Crossass, and I'm the reason why I'm even starting something with Crossass is because, first of all, like they said, I think he might go against a character they introduced, Psychon, because they both have like dual SMGs, and I'll show who Psychon is in a bit, but I feel like Cross could fire up against Psychon, and seriously, I feel like They did say that he's gonna have lots of arsenal, so we might see the blades, like the dual blades he's supposed to have, like in his concept art and the Transformers online game. So we might see something like that, and his arsenal is gonna be something very intense. I just want to see this guy with a sniper for God's sake. But as for Crosshairs, I just want this guy to fire up against Psychon because they both have dual SMGs, and I think that makes the most sense for Crosshairs. So honestly, yeah. So I personally want to see him fire up against Psychon because they both like I said, they have dual SMGs. They both kind of should have the same personality, but I think it makes the most sense for Crossass to have his own grudge against a Decepticon rather than always doing up with Drift or Bee or Hound. I think he should fight against his own Decepticon nemesis. Like Psychon is the best for this, or even Rap Bomb, a character they introduced, a Decepticon character, even that suits. So honestly, Cross has better get that arc, bro, because seriously, this character is kind of wasted in two movies. We did see what he did in Age of Extinction. His paratrooping skills was amazing, but seriously, we gotta see more of Crossass, and they did promise we're gonna see more of Crossass. So we gotta stay united to see Crossass doing some cool, amazing stunts or even paratrooping skills again. Maybe even he could also use his new sort of weapons. He better get some gadgets because this guy was shown to be more intelligent in the entire crew. He was very shown to be more of an like a tactical person or a technician. He does have the dexterity to take in this entire team, honestly. So we better see more about Crossass in this entire film. The only headmaster in Transformers Rise of Unicron has to be Cogman because, see, personally, the last night I was already amazed by this character, and we did get a studio series toy which showed his entire like body, but seeing him like redesigned in the Rise of Unicron was just so amazing, bro. Like seriously, just look at this character. So we might see him fight against certain Decepticons. My personal guess is that he's gonna fight some sort of a bike Decepticon, because in the Rise of Unicron we did see some sort of a bike Decepticon. Still is very unknown. It could also be a new character, but I feel like it could be a female Decepticon. And no one like actually that character is very small, honestly. But my best guess who's gonna appear in the film. Oh my gosh, bro! I think the my best guess is who's gonna fight that character has to be someone like Cogman, because he's like two separate bodies. That Aston Martin could be some sort of a body he could use. His main body is that his head is the main body. He legit transforms into a smaller form of his entire body. So I personally like this character a lot. He's like my second favorite in the entire Bayverse. So we better see something more about Cogman. Honestly, I want to see Cogman fighting against the bike Decepticon, because the first of all they're same size, but Cogman does have the sheer strength advantage because he did easily snap off Cross as his arms. But let's not forget the bike Decepticon could also be way faster. That might give like sheer differences between the two, but which I feel like could work. So honestly, we might see Cogman do some intense skills, and his gun is actually inspired from Fall of Cybertron. If you guys remember or not, honestly, he's my favorite character, bro. Cogman, they did like recently add him and when rewriting Rise of Unicron, so we might see some intense and some uh, we might see some intense battles, or we might even see like more of this character in depth. He could also work as a spy in my prediction, because this guy is also, first of all, he's like humanoid size, so that makes the most sense. Honestly, he might fight against some Decepticons, like the car. I mean, not the car, my bad. The bike Decepticon, the motorcycle. So we might see him fight against those characters. So that's all for today, talking about Rise of Unicron. So that's all. That's what we're technically gonna see for Rise of Unicron. These are all my predictions and all the requests and expectations. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and check out the other video about Cliff Jumper I spoke about. That's also very interesting, and that could also work for his character arc. But this is all I want to talk about Rise of Unicron. When we get to see the trailer, I might do some decoding as well as a reaction video, so stay tuned for that, as well as supporting the team H&F Productions. You guys are doing well, and I'm seriously happy, and I'm very eager to see the Rise of Unicron, especially Cross as Drift, Cliffjump, and others, and Hound, and everyone. So basically, like, I'm excited for the film, and I think you guys also excited. The main request is that this film should not be like the TFP film they released. What is it called? Some sort of a revenge for you, Galvatron something, Galvatron's Revenge something. Bro, that was the worst film to even watch as a Transformers fan. So this film better not end up like that. Especially they're putting so much hard work, so much uh, work done. The designs and everything looks so cool. So you better see something that's like worth it. And I feel like this film is gonna be worth it. And I'm pretty sure I'll also do a review video. So as for that, Dragon Plays, see you out.